Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Photographer Profile. My name is Nathan Rupert, and I've been a San Diego photographer for over 18 years. Because social media is currently focused on video content, such as Reels, I started this channel to give the photographers I've met a worldwide platform to share their work and stories. Please subscribe to the channel if you'd like to be notified right away when new episodes are uploaded, or if you just enjoy the content. So, my guest today is Rick. Hey, Rick. How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing, Nathan?
Good. Please just give us a brief introduction about yourself and your photography.
My name is Rick. I'm a San Diego native, born and raised here. Grew up for the most part in Pacific Beach. And then later, as I became an adult, I moved inland to raise family. And I went to San Diego State. And that is where I got into photography and art. I'm an art major with an emphasis in graphic design, and that is what I do. Started to learn back in the 90s, developing film, developing, processing, everything, darkroom, all of it. But then life happened, and buying film, processing film became expensive, and had to put the camera down for a while. Point and shoot cameras came around, the little digital cameras, and that's what you kind of have with you when you have kids. Later, started getting back into it as the kids got older, started picking up the camera again, starting having that desire to get out, shoot a little bit, relearning digital DSLR, and now with mirrorless cameras. And it's just snowballed from there, and I love it.
Go Aztecs. I went to San Diego State too.
Absolutely.
Do you go to any of the games as alumni or anything like that?
As many as I can, especially the basketball games.
They're really pretty good at basketball now. They made to the tournament finals and
they almost won
March Madness.
Yep, they almost won the championship 2023, and they're going to have a good year this year. We'll see.
We'll cross our fingers. Do you have any hobbies outside of photography that you enjoy?
I love to go surfing with my son, just getting to travel, of course, hiking, backpacking, and just getting out with the friends, just getting out of the house.
Do you prefer any specific beach to do your surfing?
Getting a little older and slower, so some of the slower beach breaks up in North County, San Elijo, that area. Not too much further north than that, but Del Mar, that's about it. Not as much these days as when I was younger.
You do photography for your full-time job or no?
I do some photography for my full-time job. I do, yes. Because with graphic design, there's so many different hats you wear now. We actually get into some video. We get into a lot of photography, photo manipulation, photo editing. We wear a lot of different hats. I do shoot for work, but for my landscape stuff, I'm not a paid professional there. Right.
What excites you to still go out there and shoot after all these years?
When I got back into photography, I loved the social aspect of it. And I made some amazing friends. I love getting out with friends. And sometimes you end up with the same or similar composition. It's about the camaraderie, the kindred spirit. And I love that. I've met so many amazing people. That's what really excites me.
Do you have a favorite place that you've traveled to in all these?
Oh, wow. I just got back from Peru, and it was actually a bucket list trip for me. I've always wanted to go to Machu Picchu. I've wanted to get that shot that you've seen that everybody gets. And to see something in a magazine or on Instagram, and then you do the planning, you do the work, and then your feet are in the exact same spot that person that shot that photo was. Always amazes me. I love going to Yosemite. I was in the Caribbean earlier this year. My son and I are planning a trip to Norway or Iceland next year, which is like the Mecca for photographers. Can't wait to do that.
Are you doing the winter with the northern?
No. We're thinking about doing a van and doing the ring, the circles.
What is the circle? Sorry.
There's one road that goes around all of Iceland, just one. And I think it's called the circle. Oh, somebody's going to correct me there. And so there's one freeway that goes all the way around, and there's all the spots, and you just hit all the sites. It's like driving around one of the Hawaiian Islands, I guess you could say. Just driving.
How long does that take?
I don't know. I haven't done it yet. I think they say it takes a few days to do it.
Oh, that's it? Wow.
But that's another bucket list trip for me.
I want to go there and try the Northern Lights and get in some of those caves that they have, the ice caves,
right?
Or whatever.
Exactly. All of that. And the waterfalls and the the puffins and the horses, and that's something that excites me. It gets me looking forward to photography, doing photography and trips like that.
I think almost every photographer has that on their bucket list, I'm
Absolutely,
sure.
absolutely, yeah.
What is the best piece of photography advice you've been given or that you learned throughout your career so far?
I learned through my friends. They always say that you are the average of the 5 closest people that you surround yourself with. I think it's true in photography. The friends that I've made were always better photographers than myself and more experienced. They have opened up and they've shared their techniques. Just be around other photographers and get to know them and learn from them, and just keep your ears open. I think that's how you learn.
One of the good resources for that I've seen is like meetup.com. I always see photography meetups on that website for even beginner level to advanced level. I remember I went to the astrophotography meetup where they hooked my camera up to a telescope, and I didn't know that was possible to do.
Right.
So yeah, check out those meetups.
Yep, the meetups. I started following SD Sunset Chasers on Instagram, and there were some meetups, and this is where I've met most of my good friends now. Now I'm a moderator on SD Sunset Chasers, but just surrounding yourself with other photographers, that's how you learn. It's the best way to do it.
That has to give you inspiration as a moderator, just seeing how other people took in a scene, what they did with the composition versus the typical composition.
Oh, absolutely. And the good thing about SD Sunset Chasers is it's San Diego, it's Southern California, and we have a plethora of talented photographers here in San Diego. It's just never ending. I'm always amazed at how many new photographers I meet. It doesn't get any better.
Lately, every time I shoot the sunset, I usually get clouds or overcast conditions. So
I think we're all in the same boat. It hasn't been that great. It's either been extremely overcast or extremely sunny, not a whole lot in between. But we're coming into the fall, so maybe we got some luck on our.
Jealous of those people that live closer to the beach where they can look at the clouds outside their door and know when it's going to be a good one. Right there.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I'm always on the phone. I'm like, hey, how's it looking? Or you become sort of a weatherman and start looking at the satellite map or or some of the surf cams to see how it's looking, and you try to hope that it's good enough for you to get in the car and get down to the coast.
For sure. How do you feel about AI in photography? Have you thought about that?
I have mixed feelings. They said that when digital photography came along, that was going to kill photography, but it didn't. It changed things. I'm not thrilled about it. I've heard of people that are adding elements to their photographs, and I think it takes away the experience. For me, the part of the experience is finding the shot or the composition. Right. Being. I just don't see how the person that's shooting or preparing the image, what benefit they get out of it, what satisfaction do they by typing in a few words. It just doesn't seem like there would be that same pleasure.
It probably makes your life hard as a moderator to figure out, is this AI created or this person actually get this sunset picture? Very true.
Fortunately, you get to know a lot of the local photographers and you learn their styles. So, but yeah, you never know. You never know.
I don't know if you ever thought about this, but what do you want to happen to all these photos you've taken when you die, when you're no longer here? Anything special?
Oh, I've definitely thought about that. Simply because I spent some time in the hospital a couple of years ago. Oh, wow. So I was wondering, what happens if I don't make it out of here? What happens to my work? And I don't have an answer for that. My son would get access to my digital files. I don't know. Beyond that, I don't know. And I thought about that. I'm like, I don't have the answer. But if you have the answer, if you have somebody that you interviewed that has the answer to that, please let me know, because it has crossed my mind.
I don't think anyone has the answer. It's all personal preference.
No one yet? No.
Well, some people want to make a book. Some people want to create prints and hand them out to friends and relatives. People have different ideas with what they want to do.
Yeah.
So far. Is your son into photography?
He's shown some interest in it, and he's got a decent eye, but he hasn't shown interest in learning the camera yet. So he will take some nice compositions with his cell phone. But he likes to get out there. He goes backpacking, he surfs, he camps. So and he hikes quite a bit. So getting him a camera is just probably the next step.
What do they say? It takes 10,000 ad shots to get that started on the right track for getting a decent shot in a lifetime. Probably took me 8 months when I first got my first digital camera just to know what I was really doing in terms of aperture, shutter speed, all that stuff.
And you probably picked it up quicker than I did.
All right, so you sent me some of your pictures here ahead of time. Let me go ahead and share. All right, go ahead and give us the story behind this picture and why you wanted to feature it.
I've surrounded myself with some good friends who are very talented photographers, and one of them, Bill Jameson, he's a surf and snowboard on Instagram. He is a space rocket enthusiast. He's always on his Instagram, he's always letting people know, hey, there's a launch tonight, what time it is, and so forth. So our other friend, Tyler Jordan, and I met down there at the La Jolla Children's Pool, hoping to get the comp. It's always a little funny trying to line things up. I had this idea of getting the rocket over the lifeguard station and the wall at the children's pool. And I was a little disappointed when we first got there because the clouds were looking thick, but I think it added to the composition. You seeing the rocket come up and getting it over the children's pool with the clouds, I think it enhanced the comp.
Yeah, it adds a kind of universe, galaxy type feel, the way the clouds are kind of wrapped around the comet in this picture.
That's SpaceX. I think it's Falcon 9.
Was that this year? This photo?
That was this year, and it launched from Vandenberg. That launched from way up north, up the California coast. To get those kinds of shots down here, it's fantastic.
How did the shot do on social media? Did SpaceX see it, or a
I
lot of
don't
visibility?
know. I think a lot of people shoot it. For me, it got pretty good visibility. It was shared a few times. I don't have a whole lot of followers, but I got a lot of good feedback with this shot.
No, it's great. I really like it. How long was this exposure?
For maybe 3 seconds, three and a half seconds.
Oh, okay. Fast. Let's take a look at your next one here.
Okay.
This is one of those amazing sunsets that I was talking about earlier.
It's been a while since we've had a nice sunset like this. That's Hospital's Reef. Every photographer in town that shoots sunset has shot here at some point. Getting the reflections off the reef and getting a nice color, that's always the trick, and then getting the spot. Sometimes you'll get photographers kind of lined up to get that spot. I was very fortunate. It showed up a little late, ran down there. There was somebody there at the spot, and then he stepped away. He didn't think that it was going to light up. I stepped in, got a couple shots off as it lit up, and then it went away quickly, and then let him back in before it got before the light disappeared. And I'm pretty happy with how this turned out.
When was this amazing sunset? Do you remember?
It was earlier this year, so I want to say maybe February, maybe March, the latest.
Wow. And was there HDR or any filters used in capturing this?
No, none. I usually don't use it. If I use anything, I might use some ND filters just to give me a little bit of a longer exposure. I don't recall using it here. I might have had like a half-second exposure on this.
It's very dangerous shooting here too with the slippery rocks. You definitely need a good pair of...
When I first got out there, I went out a little further. There's somebody that was here. I tried to pick a different spot, and a wave came up, and it just so happened that the beach area was crowded. A lot of people were there for this sunset. I think people knew it was going to be a nice sunset. I had picked a different spot, and then a wave came up and over, and I almost went down in front of all these people. Yeah, I know for sure I would have ended up on social media had I. I held onto my tripod, and I stayed up, and then a little later I was able to walk back over to this spot. Fortunately, I did not get ruined or ruin all my camera equipment that day. But no, I'm very happy with how this one turned out.
All right, let me share the next one. Okay.
Yeah, it's up by San Elijo in Cardiff, by the campgrounds. There's the ramp that goes down towards Pipes, the surf spot. Higher tide, and I just love this area. It's quite the photogenic lifeguard tower. I just happened to catch a nice little sunset up there, and with a few surfers out there, maybe a fraction of a second, just to get a little bit of blur on the water, a little bit of flow. It was all about the sunset that particular day.
That lifeguard tower looks like it's about to be overtaken by these by
Yeah,
these waves.
yeah. It's a beautiful place up there. I love going there. I go up there to surf quite a bit as well.
I don't think I've ever done a sunset up there. I'll have to try to get up there
Absolutely.
sometime.
It sounds like we need to do that.
All right. Let's check out the next one here. Another sunset. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. Yes. Scripps Pier. This might be the best shot that I've ever taken. I've been there a lot. It's one of those spots where everybody in town hits, but this particular sunset just, I don't know how it hit right. There wasn't a lot of people there. I don't know how I got lucky, but it was just a beautiful, beautiful burn. And there were some good sized waves that day. Just, it's one of those days where you keep going back until you get it right. And I've been here probably hundreds of times, and this particular day, it just paid off.
When was this taken?
I want to say late, maybe last year around this time. So probably in the fall of 2023.
The beach looks pretty empty. Did you have to Photoshop any people out, or it's
No,
just
I don't think
really?
so. There's a few people down in there, but no, and there's probably a few surfers in the water as well.
Yeah, I love the red burn, and there's
Yeah.
no Photoshop, right? That was the color
No, yeah, no,
that
it
day.
was maybe just a touch of on the sliders, not much. That was the color,
Wow.
and it was a long burn too. It was amazing.
All right, let's check out the next one. A little different angle, a little lower
Yeah.
angle on this one.
Like I said, I've been there plenty of times. Every time you go there, you think you would get tired of shooting the same pier, but for one, it's a challenge. You look for new compositions,
Right.
and two, you always seem to come up with something different. If you know, I mean, obviously there's the under the pier shot. You can shoot from the other side of the pier, reflection on the sand, tides. You can shoot above where the previous shot was taken. There's always something to shoot there. It's sort of a San Diego go-to. Just love going down to La Jolla to shoot.
Do you do that shot every year where the sun lines up perfectly? What's
I
that
haven't
called?
done
Scripps
that.
Henge or something?
I have not done that yet. I've seen the videos, and every year it seems to grow and grow and grow. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't know if I want to get down into that.
Yeah, I don't have too much motivation to do that
No,
shot since
no,
a million other people have done it, and I see the
right,
crowds. I'm like, I'll stick to
right, exactly. Yeah,
something less crazy, I guess. But here we go. Another one. Very peaceful vibe in this shot.
I went and see absolutely another San Diego standard or staple. For this one, it just felt with the grass in the foreground, it just felt kind of fallish to me. We got a nice sunset. There was actually a lot of people on the beach. I think Martin King, who you've interviewed, he was right next to me. Just the whole crew, Tyler Jordan, Dana. There was a number of people there. And everybody's just kind of working around the shack, trying to get their shots because it was a nice sunset. This one with the little path kind of spoke to me. So beautiful sunset, and it's one of my favorites from Winnincy.
I like how you use the grass as a foreground. Sometimes it's hard to find a good foreground
Yes.
for this particular spot. Love little small splashes of water right
Right.
by the shack there too.
Yeah, high tide. It was just enough to get into the picture.
It's those small little details that really make it stand out, in
I
my
haven't print.
opinion.
I haven't printed this one large yet. I'm dying to see what it looks like on a large format print.
Do you have a lot of your photos hanging up at your
Not
place?
not a lot. I don't have a whole lot of room. I have a large panoramic shot I did of from Yosemite, which turned out nice. I like it, and I've got a few. One from Winnincy, and then I've got another one Pacific Beach. And that's pretty much all the ones I have here printed.
Have you ever shot this sunset, this location from that little, was it that little stormwater pipe? Have you seen that? The
I've
circular?
seen that. I've seen that. I have not. I'm not crawling into that thing, and I haven't done it. No, it frames it nicely, but I have not done
I
that.
don't know if I'd be able to fit in that. Maybe I'll try
That
someday to get stuck or
exactly.
something.
Maybe I'll find someone smaller to crawl in there for me, and I'll set the camera up and have them click it or something. But no, I haven't done that yet.
That'd be a good story, having to get rescued by the San Diego
No,
Coast Guard trying to get a sunset picture.
no, I can just see the video pulling me out of the storm drain. No.
Oh my goodness. Let's go to the next one. All right. Where is this at?
Yosemite, Upper Yosemite Falls. And that was this year in February. I had gone up there with Andrew Desiderio and Mariana, his fiance, and for Firefall. And during the day, we were driving around, and I think Mariana saw it first. You just had to be in the right spot near the village in Yosemite,
Okay.
and the sun was hitting it just right. The spray from the waterfall had kicked out enough that it kind of was perfectly encapsulating the tree that was there, because usually the waterfall falls to the right of that tree, and the rainbow was just so bright and so vivid. I mean, that right there's like no touch up or no color enhancement. That's what it looked
Wow.
like, and
Really?
it's one of my favorite shots. It's one of those where it probably only happened for a minute or two on that day because the conditions were right. You just had to be there and you had to catch it, and it's fleeting. That's why I enjoy this shot. It's sort of like a sunset. It comes up, it hits quick, it's there for a few minutes, goes away. We went back 3 more days so that Mariana could try to get this shot, and it didn't happen.
Oh, wow.
It's just being there at the right time with the right conditions and catching it.
Were you trying to time your arrival there with what when the water turns red? That famous shot that all those photographers
Yes,
try to
yes,
get.
yeah. I think Martin showed you his firefall shot. Yes, we were trying to get that, and that happens in February each year if the conditions are right.
Did you get some of that
I
too?
did, I did, I
Oh,
did. I
okay,
think
cool.
I think we had one day that we caught it where the conditions were pretty good.
I haven't been there yet, but
Oh,
it's
you
on
need
my
to.
dream list.
It's coming up. Make it happen.
Okay, I think we have one more. A very striking photo.
Yeah, yeah. This is the shot what we're talking about that didn't work for me. The technique of shooting lightning is kind of new to me. I only successfully did it one time prior to this. I was a little disappointed in myself because sometimes you miss 100% of the shots that you don't put yourself in a position to catch. Kind of like the waterfall shot that we just saw, or the sunset shot. I was there. I was ready. I took it. For this shot, this particular day, we knew the storm was coming up. I kept debating with myself, should I go down there? Should I not? It might be cold. It might be wet. Finally, I talked myself into going. But when I had gotten there, conditions were getting worse. I'd run into some guys that I knew, Vlad and Randy, and they had been there earlier, and they had gotten an amazing shot of Scripps Pier with the Christmas lights strung along the pier with the full Christmas tree. In this shot right here, the Christmas tree is like half off, just because of it was being
You can
thrown
barely
around the
tell.
storm. Yeah, but you can only see half of it. They had gotten a shot because they were there early, where they got La Jolla in the background, and there were lightning bolts on the other side of La Jolla, and in the foreground they had the pier lit up, all festive with the Christmas lights and the full Christmas tree, and it was just a gorgeous, gorgeous shot. That's why I was disappointed in myself that I did not put myself in a position to get a better shot. And I keep this shot as a reminder. You miss 100% of the shots that you're not there for. So you got
But
to
I
get out
mean,
there and get the shots.
comparison is the thief of joy too, right? I'm sure there's millions of photographers
That's
that'd
true.
be happy to have this shot and put it in their portfolio. I would do that. I
Yeah,
would be happy if I took this shot. Lightning is hard enough to capture,
it is very
much
hard to
less
capture.
right at the end of the pier.
But if you would see their shots, it was like, oh wow, I'm just gonna kind of put mine over here. Don't look at this. But no, I'm happy that I got something, and I'm happy that I did end up going. But I need to stop talking myself out of not being there. You got to put yourself in a position to get lucky.
How long was this exposure? Like 30 seconds or bulb mode? Or how did you capture the lightning?
I think I used the intervalometer and I just put it on maybe 30 shots at probably 3 seconds each, consecutively,
Oh, three
and
seconds
then I
each.
something like that. Just this might have been 1.5 to 3 seconds, not a lot. It just kept it going. So if a bolt hits, then hopefully one of your frames has it.
And lightning is very rare. San Diego, so there's
Right.
not very many opportunities to get shots
Exactly. And this
like
and this
this.
and this happened during Christmas with the pier all lit up, and it was like, oh, wow, I just knew that I'd missed something very special, but I'm glad I got this.
All right, let me stop sharing. I think that's all the photos. We have a couple more questions and then we'll wrap things up here. Is there a dream shot that you still want to get that you haven't gotten yet?
There's places that I want to go shoot. Like I said, Iceland. A friend of mine's a photographer in Spain. I want to go there. Maybe shoot the running of the bulls. Really love traveling, so I need to work on it. The sunrise shots, getting up early for some nice sunrises. And there's some great spots in San Diego to get that. I don't put myself in the position to get those. I'm not an early morning guy.
That's the worst when you're waking up to go to your 9 to 5 job and then you look out the window, there's this amazing sunrise.
Yep.
You're like, no, I have to log into my work computer.
Right. Exactly.
now.
Exactly. If I did it right, I can be home in time to get to work after shooting some sunrises, but it's the getting up part that kind of gets to me.
What would you consider as your greatest accomplishment so far? Have you been published to something very big publication or anything like that?
No big publications. My work does get used around San Diego, but not any real big publications.
Do you have any weird or crazy stories that's happened to you during all these trips to shoot these sunsets or at the beach?
Oh my goodness! I think everybody has that story, that time where they drop a camera or lose a camera. We were out trying to shoot Milky Way. I'd just gotten a new tripod and my new camera, and I set it up. We go to the edge. It's dark, obviously. Set up my tripod, set up the camera, put it down, and then it just kept going. The front foot did not hit the ground, and it fell down an embankment. And I'm thinking,
Oh,
I just lost my camera. Jumped down this embankment, and the only thing that was broken was the hood on my lens. I got very lucky, but it was one of those things that friends never let you forget.
very lucky.
Yeah, very lucky.
Get renter's insurance. I've said that to a couple other guests before.
Oh yeah, it's weird. You put the tripod down and it just disappears. So I'm like, oh, where'd that go?
All right. Any final thoughts? What are the best ways for people to contact you? Do you prefer Instagram, a website? What do you prefer?
Instagram. I do have some of my photos on a website. You can link to it from my bio in my Instagram, but it's definitely in my Instagram, which is U4Rick Bro. If you say it all together, it's euphoric bro. It's a letter U, number 4. Rick.
Was that
Bro.
a purpose, by the way?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. So so it worked out pretty nice.
I appreciate you coming on and sharing these amazing pictures, and I'm sure I'll see you out at the beach.
Oh, you
shooting
will,
the sunset
absolutely.
sometime.
I appreciate what you're doing, man. This is great. It's just the networking and getting to know the people around San Diego. That's what it's all about.
Does the SD Sunset Chasers, do they host meetups this year?
We haven't done it this year, but yes, we do.
Okay.
If you follow SD Sunset Chasers, there's 7 or 8 different moderators, and it'll be in the story that we'll be posting. Hey, we're going to have a meetup on this date and where it's going to happen. Great way to meet people, all levels, cell phone users to super advanced users. If and when we do have another one, make sure to come out.
I just hope it's not overcast with no sunset
Oh yeah,
for the meetup.
Like I said, it's the meeting the people is we have gotten lucky a few times with some nice sunsets, but it's the social aspect that really the long lasting bonds. That's what's important.
Well, thank you for sharing your work.
Thank
Have
you.
a good night. It's great meeting you virtually.
You as well.
We'll talk again soon. All right, Rick.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much.
Sounds like
All
a
right.
plan. Bye.
Bye.